Enter the world of pharmacy. It held in world supremacy.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers of my channel, the Easy Pharmacology, and welcome back in lecture number 2. Viewers, one thing I want to share with you people that this is the series of lecture. It means that each coming lecture will be connected with the previous lecture, or I may say that my each lecture may end at such a point which may be discussed in upcoming lecture. So in any lecture, if you get any confusion, you may get the help from the previous lecture or from the upcoming lecture. So for the convenience of you people, I have given the tag number as lecture number 1, lecture number 2 and so on. So come on to the lecture number 2. These are the contents of my today's lecture. Inshallah, I will try my best to discuss on these topics. But before going to lecture number 2, I want to clear few points from lecture number 1. If you people remember from lecture number 1, I had told you people that there are two categories of the diseases. For one disease, the effective and economical treatment is available. And in that, I had given you the example of hypertension. Hypertension is such disease which is not totally cured. There are few diseases which can be totally cured, then हम completely कुछ diseases को ख़त्म कर सकते हैं, उनका इलाज कर सकते हैं और वो diseases हम ख़त्म कर सकते हैं. लेकिन कुछ disease ऐसी हैं जिससे कि वो उस patient से ख़त्म तो नहीं कर सकते, लेकिन उस disease को हम manage करते हैं. तो जो मैंने आपको hypertension की example, I had given you the example of hypertension. So want to tell you one point regarding that. Hypertension can be just managed. It can't be totally cured. Asthma is also one of the disease. Number 2 point, I had used two words, positive and negative effects. These two words I had used for your convenience, for your understanding. But better to not use these two words. Better to use which words? Therapeutic effects and the harmful effects. Therapeutic effects are the toxic effects. These are the two better words to be used pharmacologically. Number 3 point, which I had used the poison and the drug. Actually, this is a separate topic. Inshallah, I will deliver my lecture on this topic, which may be containing the contents of toxic effect, therapeutic effect, side effect, adverse effect. So if you have any confusion in lecture number 2 regarding the toxic effect and the therapeutic effects and so on, so don't worry regarding that one. Inshallah, this is a separate lecture which will be discussed. Okay, now come on to the lecture number 2. Drug definition, its sources, official and unofficial, differences between the drug and medicine. So come on, start from the drug. If you people remember, I had used the word substance in the definition of the pharmacological definition. I had used the word substance which interacts with the human body. Later on, I had used the word pharmacological active substance. Pharmacological active substance. I had coined this term from this one, and I had told you the definition of this one, which have effect on human body. What is pharmacological active substance? Any chemical which have effect on human body. Okay, and from this one I had told you that if this pharmacological effect is therapeutic, is beneficial, this will be known as the drug, and if it is producing the toxic effect, that will be known as the poison. Here again I want to declare one point. same pharmacological active substance, if given in standard dose, in therapeutic dose, it will produce the therapeutic effects, it will produce the beneficial effects. And in that case, in that situation, this is known as the drug. But if the same substance, pharmacological active substance, if cross the limits in our plasma, in our blood, if it cross the limits, its amount, its dose, its quantity, if cross the limit, the standard limit, that limit is known as minimum toxic concentration. If this same substance cross this limit in our blood, in our plasma, obviously that will produce the toxic effects, and its toxicity will be considered as that this is a poison. Okay. Our today's topic is drug. Substance, pharmacological substance or drug. General definition of drug is what? Any pharmacologically active substance which have effect on human body, it is known as the drug. Okay. But today we will discuss few more points regarding the drug. You people know the general definition of the drug. Any pharmacologically active substance which have the influence, effects, therapeutic effects on the human body. But what the Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act, Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act says about the drug that any substance which is recognized in an official book like Pharmacology or National Formulary or Pharmaceutical Codex. These are the few official books. Any substance which is recognized, which is included or which is present in these national standard books, then that is known as the drug. This is the definition as per the Act, Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act. But we are learning the subject pharmacology. So pharmacology subject, how defines the drug? Come on, to understand that one. Any substance which is intended to be used for there are few purposes. Number, for diagnosis of disease. Number 2, prevention of disease. Number 3, mitigation of disease. Number 4, treatment of disease. Number 5, to cure the disease. Pharmacologically, any substance which is intended to be used for these 5 purposes, that is known as a drug. Diagnosis of the disease means to sort out the presence of any ailment in a patient. If that is present, prevention of the disease, we are going to try our best to prevent the occurrence of the disease. If there are the chances, if the patient is liable, if the patient is prone to suffer from a disease, we try our best through the pharmacologically active substance to prevent the disease. Mitigation means we try our best to decrease the severity, the seriousness or painfulness of the patient or the disease. Treatment improves the quality, improves the condition or improving the quality of the patient, quality of life of the patient. Okay, and cure means to completely eradicate the disease from the patient. So these are the 5 purposes for which the drug is used. Drug is what? Any substance. If you come back to the definition of pharmacology, any substance which interacts with human body. ठीक है? For these purposes. Did you get? Hope so that you have got the definition of this drug pharmacologically. Here a question arises, sir, you have told us about the drug, any chemical substance. Sir, from where we can get such drugs? From where? Is there any source? Obviously there are so many sources. So let us find the presence of the drug. Obviously in nature there are so many substances. So let us find from where we can get such pharmacologically active substances. Sources of the drug. In nature, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, there are so many things present in nature, so we can get from that one, naturally, a nature source. Number 2, semi-synthetic. Number 3, synthetic. These are the 3 sources from where we can get the drugs. Let us start from nature. Which are those things present in nature which may be the source of the drug? So let us find plants. Number 2, animals. Number 3, microorganisms. Number 4, marine life. Number 5, mineral. Number 6, I am just writing here, I will discuss how it is. Geographical source. Now let us start from plants. Plants are natural organisms. Plant as a whole plant may be the source of a drug. Whole plant. An example, ephedra plant. This is one of the example of that plant which as a whole plant is the source of the drug. There are so many other examples. The second condition may be any single part or more than one part of the plant may be the source of the drug. Let's suppose part of the plant, leaf. Leaf is what? Part of the plant. So leaf may be the source of the drug. So is there any plant? Digitalis lanata, this is one of the example of that plant whose this part, leaf, is the source of the drug. Any other example of the part of the plant? Rhizome. Rhizome is one of the part of the plant. Rhizome. So example is ginger. Ginger is one of that whose rhizome is the source of the drug. And so on. There are so many parts of the plant which may be the source of the drug. So one condition, the whole plant, one condition. Second condition, part of the plant. The third condition may be there are some secretions produced into the plant. Those secretions may also be the source of the drug. The example is when the milky milk of this poppy plant. This is one of the example of the secretion which is the source of the drug. Okay, now come to the animals. So animals, there are the glands of the animal which may be the source of the drug, thyroid organ, and there is also the liver extracts like this is fish liver oil. Okay, there is the bees wax is one of the animal source of the drug. We can get the enzymes from animals, we may get the hormones from the animals which are the sources of the drugs. I am not going into deep, my focus is only the source of the drug. So I am not going in deep examples of that one. Okay. So animals may also be the natural source of the drugs. From animals we may get the drugs, matlab we may get the pharmacologically active substances. Now come to the microorganisms. There are so many drugs which are produced from the microorganisms. Penicillin, glycofulvin, these are the life-saving drugs, antibiotics. Okay, so microorganisms में से एग्जाम्पल्स हैं पेनिसिलिन है, ग्लाइसोफल्विन है, क्लोरामफेनिकोल है, नियोमाइसिन है, जेंटामाइसिन है, टोब्रामाइसिन है, and also we can get xanthines, dextrans, so we can get from these one. And one of the marine, there are so many organisms present in marine life, even microorganisms. If we talk about the microorganism, there is one microorganism, cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria is the marine microorganism. Okay, from that the curacin A, I am writing now curacin A. This is one of the drug which is obtained from the cyanobacteria, which is the marine microorganism. There are also so many other animals present like corals. Corals is what? These are the invertebrates present in marine life. From corals we can get the drugs. Corals is also one of the source of the drug, marine source of the drugs. उसके अलावा sponges are also the marine sources of the drugs, and also other animals are present in marine life which may be the source of the drug. Okay, come to the minerals. Both metallic and non-metallic are the sources of the drugs, mineral sources like chalk, diatomite, bentonite, borax. These are the mineral sources like the ferrous sulfate. Ferrous sulfate is one of the mineral source of the drug. Ferrous sulfate is used as the in anemia. And magnesium sulfate, this is also the mineral drug, magnesium sulfate. And other drugs may be the gold, which is used for anti-inflammatory or anti-rheumatoid, selenium, anti-dandruff, and zinc oxide, which is the skin protectant, and so on. And also some isotopes are also produced. Isotopes of iodine, isotopes of phosphorus, isotopes of gold. These are also produced from the mineral sources. So mineral is also one of the source of the drug. Now come to the geographical source. Actually, this gives the sense that there are two situations. One, any plant may be native to some place, and the second situation is what? Currently where that plant is produced. Like cinchona plant. Its native source, native geographical source, basically it belongs to which place? Originally this plant belongs to which place? So cinchona, its native is North America. North America is the native geographical source of this plant, but current geographical source is India and other countries also. Indonesia and other countries also cinchona plant. So this was about the natural sources of the drugs. Now come on to the, actually I am not going into deep because my focus is only to tell you about the sources from which things which we may get the drugs. Or now come on to the second, semi-synthetic. Semi-synthetic means what the natural sources are present. So we are going to alter the chemical structure of the natural chemical. If naturally we are getting any chemical, so we are going to alter the chemical structure of that one, but not its nucleus. उसके केमिकल स्ट्रक्चर के न्यूक्लियस को डिस्टर्ब नहीं करना है, बाकी उसकी जो अदर केमिकल स्ट्रक्चर है उसको थोड़ा सा अल्टर करके मॉडिफाई करके उस नेचुरल सोर्स की पोटेंसी को बढ़ाना, एफिकेसी को बढ़ाना और अदर पैरामीटर्स को मॉडिफाई करना. सो ये तरीके क्या, ये मेथड क्या है, सेमी सिंथेटिक. नेचुरल प्रोडक्ट्स को मॉडिफाई करके उनकी एफिकेसी को बढ़ाना, अदर पैरामीटर्स को बढ़ाना, पोटेंसी को बढ़ाना. तो दिस इज वन ऑफ द सेमी सिंथेटिक सोर्स. एग्जांपल ऑफ द ड्रग्स की अगर मैं बात करूं तो होमेट्रोपिन, इंसुलिन भी आ जाता है, उसके बाद 6 अमीनो पेनिसिलिनिक एसिड, and so on. Actually I am not going into deep, I just want to declare the sources. So semi-synthetic sources what naturally present products को modify करके उनकी efficacy और other parameters को बढ़ाना. तो semi-synthetic is also one of the source. Come on to the synthetic. It means that totally and completely the drugs are synthetically prepared. If I tell you few examples like this one, aspirin is one of the synthetic drug, and paracetamol, thiazide, diuretics, some antihistamines. So these are the few those drugs which are synthetic drugs. Okay, so this was all about the sources of the drug. Now come on to the official and unofficial drugs. There is a little bit difference. All those substances which are included or which are present in current issue of official books like Pharmacopoeia, National, Formulary or Pharmaceutical Codex. If the drug is present or prescribed or recognized or included in official books like Pharmacopoeia, National Formulary, Pharmaceutical Codex, so those drugs are known as official drugs. But there are few unofficial drugs like all those drugs which are not present in these one situation with the unofficial drugs is what? Those are not present. The second situation may be early those drugs were present, but in current publication, in current issue of these books, those drugs are not included. The reason? Their toxic effects on the human. That's why those are excluded from the official books. Now those drugs which were previously official, now these are unofficial because these are excluded from these books. So there may be these two situations with the unofficial drugs. Here I want to clear one point. I think you people have listened about the word crude drug. Okay, let's come to understand the crude drug. Actually, what I told you, the sources of the drugs: plants, animals, so on. From any source, if you are getting or collecting the drug, getting or collecting the drug. Number one, collecting the drug, and after collection you just have let it to dry. Let it to dry naturally in sunlight or in air. These are two situations. From any source, if you have gone up to these two processes, collecting the drug from the source and drying that one, if you have gone up to these two steps, that drug will be known as the crude drug. Crude drug. If I am going to tell you the proper definition, okay, write down the proper definition of crude drug: naturally occurring, unrefined or unprocessed drug obtained from organic or inorganic sources. But if you feel confusion, you may define the crude drug as the drug and medicine. Drug and medicine. Crude drug. Okay. Source. It means natural source from where. Let's suppose the animal or plants. From source we have just collected and dried. From the natural source, if the drug is just collected and dried, up to this process the drug is known as the crude drug. And crude drug is what? Unrefined or unprocessed. There is a natural source. From natural source you just have collected and dried. So that collected and dried or unrefined or unprocessed drug is known as the crude drug. For example, dried leaf of digitalis. Leaf is what? A part of the plant. If you have just collected and dried, now up to this stage, this is known as the crude drug. And one thing, this dried leaf of digitalis, which is the crude drug is composed of so many ingredients, so many components, so many chemical constituents. But when this crude drug or unrefined or unprocessed drug will be passed from the refining process maybe extraction, maybe distillation, maybe isolation, separation, and so on. What are the processes are involved to refine that one? So this unrefined drug will become refined. And what is the purpose behind refining? Because this crude drug is composed of many ingredients, and if we need only single ingredient, single chemical constituent, we will pass this unrefined drug from the refining processing or processing to get the refined drug. Let's suppose this dried leaf of digitalis, this is composed of many ingredients. When this will be processed, refined, we may get the ingredient of our need, the chemical constituent of our need. Let's suppose digoxin. Digoxin is one of the constituent present in the digitalis leaf. Okay, so up to the leaf collection and drying of the leaf, this is known as the crude drug. But when this is refined or processed, we may get single entity, single chemical constituent. Let's suppose digoxin. Now the thing which I want to clear here, before processing or before refining and after refining, this is also the drug, digoxin is also the drug, but the difference is what? This is the unprocessed, this is the processed. This is unrefined, this is refined. Unrefined is known as the crude drug. Crude drug is also one of the drug because it possesses the pharmacological activity, and digoxin is also one of the drug, one of the substance, pharmacologically active substance. If this will interact with human body, this will also produce an influence and effect. If this will be interacted with the body, this will also produce an effect or influence. So this was the difference which I wanted to tell about this one. Okay, now the main thing, difference between the drug and medicine. Okay, but this difference, let this difference be discussed in our coming next lecture. Up to date, inshallah, you have to be connected with the channel the Easy Pharmacology. Here's one thing which I want to tell you, that the basic and primary purpose, my basic and primary purpose behind all this setup, behind all this scenario, is to try my best to make your concepts clear regarding the basics of pharmacology. So how may I come to know that I am succeed in my purpose, I have got my purpose? This is the question. So the answer is your feedback, and obviously your feedback in the form of your views, your comments in the comment box, to like the video lecture, to subscribe the channel. These all activities shows your feedback, and your feedback will tell me that whether I am going and to get my purpose or not. And if you feel that after listening my video lecture there is a little bit improvement in your concepts, then you should help out other people by sharing this video lectures to them. So dear viewers, don't be upset. Inshallah, in next lecture these differences will be discussed and other points will also be discussed. And those viewers, those students who haven't seen my first lecture, I am giving the link of that one in the description of the second lecture. So because all my lectures are connected, so for helping out all people, I am doing such kind of activity. So inshallah, very soon we will meet in lecture number 3. Till date, Allah Hafiz.
Enter the world of pharmacy.